Okay, my friends, welcome to the smoke session. So basically, I'm going to read a few of the comments on my last video regarding the 53-year-old woman who decided to leave her husband and then regret it. I'm going to play a little bit of the video here just so that you guys can get a taste, but I would strongly advise you to go and watch the video.
It seems like when I first moved out, I was so relieved to be out of the pain of it and the unhappiness that I was elated. And I didn't know that I would really miss him and miss my old life, and that when all of the pain kind of subsides and all the bad stuff drains away, all that's left are the memories of the good parts. I can't keep thinking about it. And
Oh, okay, all right. So, wow, she went straight into it. The video is called I Miss Him. So let me get this straight. You miss the person that was apparently treating you so bad. I'm trying to wrap it around my head. You miss feeling bad. Now I know this. I know there's a psychological term for it, for people who actually miss the trauma because they've endured it for so long. But this woman is actually crying because she misses the man that was torturing her. You realize that don't really make a lot of sense, right? Ladies, you do understand that, right? And then she says, I miss all the good times. So obviously, this man wasn't abusive to her 24/7. So there must have been a reason why she was experiencing some bad times, because obviously there were some great times. And this is what ladies don't understand. Marriages are not good all the time. No relationship is good all the time. This is the problem with you ladies, is that you have been told that it should be great all the time. That is bullshit. That is the bullshit that you guys fell for. So now she's crying, she's left her man. Even though 95% of the comments basically highlighted this woman as delusional, selfish, the man is lucky, blah, blah, blah. There were just those few women who decided to give me some smoke. And I want to read you guys those messages today. All right? Because listen, hey, I can take it. I can take it. And I also want to address those women, because I'm a guy that looks at life like this. The only way I will learn if I get criticized. If I just had people agreeing with me, the only thing that I would learn is to reinforce my own knowledge. That's not learning anything new. That's just telling me that, hey, I was right, and that's it. In other words, I have learned nothing new. So come on, you know the drill. Before I get into the video, give me a thumbs up. Show me some love. Let me know that you're going to get some new knowledge here. And of course, listen, if you have any quick questions for the older man, you remember, this is Ask an Older Man. Go over to Instagram, send me a voice message, and I will respond almost immediately. At least the same day. And if you need some deeper understanding about a problem that you have and it's going to take a while, you can easily book a session over at askanolderman.com. All right, that's enough of the public service announcements. Let's get into the smoke. Let's hear what the ladies had to say. Yep, I love doing this. So this first lady, Avis Ellis, 5474, she said, this is ridiculous. My mom remarried in her 70s. Don't listen to this man. Every older man is not going to date a 30-year-old or younger. When I was in my 30s, guys in their 50s grossed me out. Ew. Some of these guys are giving really bad advice. Keep your head up. I'm a 60-year-old widow, and when my husband passed away, there were a few guys trying to hit me up. Miss Avis, I did respond to her. And I said, "You have missed the message, my dear. I never said she will never remarry. I said it would be difficult. These are different times, my dear. Women of the past are not thinking like these current women." And this is what you have to understand. Modern women don't think like your grandma. Your grandma knew that if she messed up with the first husband, of the husband decided that he's going to be an asshole and treat her like crap, she's going to get out. But she still retained her femininity. She still understood that the man is still the head of the house. She still understood the basic laws of relationship, which is compromise. This idea, "I'm not settling," was never a thing back in her days. "I'm not settling." This is what's keeping women single. That was my primary message for all women, whether you're 20 or whether you're 30 or whether you're 70. Your sexual marketplace value at those different ages changes. You have to understand what your value is to a man at whatever age you're at. That was my only message. And for a woman to leave her husband after 30 years of marriage, thinking that she's going to do better, get a better man, upgrade the man that she spent 30 years with, someone who she created a tight bond with over 30 years, and now complaining because she's not happy that he's found a woman 20 years his junior. She was not happy about that. Just because you are grossed out by an older man doesn't mean that the majority of women are. Get over yourself. And just because men are hitting you up, that don't mean that they're going to spend their money and marry you. Because the way you're speaking now, my friend, you are not going to find any man that's going to want to put up with that kind of attitude. You are not someone that's looking to negotiate with a man. You're looking for someone you can take from. And that was my message. You ladies, you listen to respond because you get triggered emotionally. You don't listen with logic and try to understand the message. That's where the problem comes in here. But we have a few more to address, so we won't spend a lot of time on this one. Jeanette says, "Don't drink the Kool-Aid. You don't know the whole story," and should be "Never does Paul Aiken, that has been married 3 times. Grow up before it's too late." Of course we don't know the whole story. We're listening to her story. We don't know the man's story. That's what you're missing. We're hearing her story. I'm responding to her story. So don't tell me we don't know the whole story. We don't know his side of it. The man hasn't told us how much he's been tortured. But we can gather from her 20-minute rambling about how she feels about leaving him and then feeling upset because he's now happy. That is what we know. We know this part because she's showing us this part. The whole story, my friend, is talking to the man who she's tortured most of his life. That's what you should ask yourself. Oh, you thought I was going to go the other way and ask about the other side of her story, huh? No, she's told us her side. We see it here clearly. As far as me, on my 3rd marriage, yeah, I got it wrong twice. You know what? I did it again. 3rd time. Most men wouldn't. You don't know my story. You never said anything about my story, but you tried to shame me because I've been married twice before. You never asked, "Oh, how are you doing it so well for 19 years when the others didn't last over 3 years?" None of those came up in your discussion or your question because you were quick to shame. Huh? Watch yourself. Listen to your own thoughts, my dear. Men who go through divorce, right, rarely leave marriages. Rarely. Only 20% of the time. Think about it. All right, this woman says, no, that's toxic nostalgia. This woman is not a good example. She has low self-esteem. And what's your point? She's telling you what her problem is. I can tell you, low self-esteem isn't her problem. This is a woman who's extremely selfish. You go and watch the video again and you tell me that's somebody with low self-esteem? Really? No, that's a selfish woman. There's a distinct difference between those two things. All right, let's go on to the next one. This one, Guido Arnold. Sounds like a man. He said, sorry, old man, but what she is telling is normal in Europe. Ooh, I'm German, live in Spain, and all the best ager women 50 plus are speaking like this. Because in Europe, by a divorce, they get always everything out of the man. The man has to pay until her end, and she doesn't need to work in her life at all. Pension has to be paid to her by the ex. A nightmare for all the men because they can't afford to get a new relationship to be happy. Yeah, marriages and divorce do not benefit men. For some reason, women think that, oh, we are the lucky ones. The only reason men would want to get married is to pass on his DNA. That's it. That's it. That's what every single species fight each other for. Rams butt each other head. Bears fight to the death. Only because we want to reproduce ourselves. Why? Because we want to pass on our DNA. But the current laws do not benefit us in any way, shape, or form. So we men are at a disadvantage. In Europe and in the US, it's horrible. So I don't think you women understand that when you leave a man, but then you complain when he gets a younger one. So this is another gentleman. His name is Kenny Alpha. It always blew my mind when women decided to divorce their husbands when they hit their 40s, 50s, and 60s. That is so backward. I don't even know how to process it. Gentlemen, I assume that Kenny is not an American. But I'll tell you, we see this more and more in the Western society, where a woman can then say, hey, I want to have a second experience. I've done the kids, I've done the husband, and if I leave this husband, I can get everything that he has, and I can move on, and I can have my fun. Meaning, she can ride as many different men as she wants, and still feel that she's young. This is the problem with women. Women always feel that they should bring back their childhood. They know that their only attraction to men is to act like girls. They know that men are attracted to younger, so they try to act younger. This idea that women mature is the absolute bullshit that we have been conditioned to think. Women constantly act like girls because they know that that is what men find attractive. Men, we want to grow up because we know that our maximum earning potential occurs in our late 30s, 40s, and 50s. Then after that, we want to stop. We can stop there. But women don't want to reach there. But women don't want to reach there. They want to stay in their 20s because they know that that was the period when they were at their peak attractiveness. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So when these women now reach a point where they feel that they have totally lost their ability to be attractive to the opposite sex, they want to try to get back out on the streets to try to get that validation that they're still relevant to other men. They feel they need that. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong, ladies. I would like to hear your opinion. Let's go to the next person. This gentleman, Donald Washington, he said, we all know that when a man has a midlife crisis, he goes out and gets a new car. Subsequently, when a woman suffers her midlife crisis, she decides to destroy her own home. All of a sudden, the man that she's been married to all of these years is no longer good enough. And that's my point. That is so well said. When a woman reaches into that middle age, she feels like, wow, I need to regain I need to start over. I need to go back to my best years. So she will destroy what she has, the comfort. She calls it boring. The mundane, the stability. Do you understand what defines boring? How people see something that is boring? Boring technically means stable. There's no blips, there's no ups and downs, there's just stable. Predictability. This is what we all strive for as men. As we get older, we want peace. Do you know what peace means? Stability. We making enough money, we don't have to worry about or stress about money. We have a woman who's loyal, I don't have to worry about her being out on the streets. I come home, I get a nice hot plate every single night consistently. My wife don't smell like another man. My husband don't smell like another woman's perfume. He's regular, he comes home at the same time every night. He does the same thing. That is predictability, stability. But what we have done in our society is to say that is boring. That's why women love men that give them trouble, because they need that stimulation. That one night he comes in with a little lipstick on his collar. Oh, she's gonna get upset. But that gets her, after she calms down and he explains it to her, it might rile her up a little bit, but that is stimulation. So women don't understand that, yeah, you want that stimulation, but really, do you want that stimulation? No, I want a different type of stimulation. Why can't he think about taking me to a different restaurant? Why can't he think about going to a different area or taking me out? She always wants the man to give her something different. Does she suggest anything different that she would want? No, the man has to figure that out. Oh, he doesn't do anything different. Oh, the sex moves are the same. Does the same sex, I don't feel stimulated anymore. Yeah, if back in your 20s, you're hitting 20, 30 different dicks every freaking year, there's no way a man can keep up with that after you've gone through the same man for 10, 15 years. Of course that's going to become boring, that one man, because you messed up your head back then in your days. You see where the problems are? Stability is boring, according to you. Instead of you saying stability is beautiful, it's calm. This is how you need to change your mindset. Stability, regularity, that is beautiful. But women don't see it that way, unfortunately. She will wreck her home to change that. But then, after the chaos hits her for a while, she realizes, oh my God, that stability was golden. Tell me I'm wrong. So this gentleman says, my wife left me after 20 years at age 62. 2 weeks after we returned from a Caribbean cruise, she said our marriage was boring and left. My therapist has diagnosed her with narcissistic personality disorder. It was an emotionally abusive relationship. Now I'm happy she left. And Adele's gentleman, he responded, happy life without that wife. Smiling. Now, this is what I'm basically saying. Women will destroy a stable home in order to try to get some sort of stimulation. But I can assure you, and I've seen this many times with women in my age, after a few months, maybe a year to 2 years out on the street, she would kill for that stability. And usually the man has moved on. After she realized how she screwed up, a lot of these women regret leaving their husbands. You can see hundreds of TikTok videos, I regret leaving my husband. Many of them out there. And it's simply because women just don't have a long-term vision of life. They're governed by their emotion. And emotions are fleeting. Come today, gone tomorrow. Brian says, despite a demanding career, I get up extra early every morning before beginning the work day, so that I can further advance my Spanish fluency. For the past 3 years, I've had an exclusive relationship with a beautiful Peruvian with amazing qualities. The days of dating the type of woman shown in this video are long over. And this is a fact. Men are looking at other options. They're looking at conservative societies where the women respect marriages and respect men. This is the reality of life. All right, I'm going to read two more and then we'll wrap it up. This gentleman said, ladies, it's not your man's job to keep you happy. Keep yourself happy by staying busy with work, hobbies, your responsibilities in the home. Your man's job is to protect and provide for you. If he's doing that, any problems you have are for you to solve with his help and guidance, but not to be pinned on him. I am single as I am contented being alone, but lost numerous relationships as the woman in question expects me to be everything for them, which is unrealistic and unsustainable. So that was a gentleman saying that. A few small ones, a few short ones, and then we'll wrap it up. Breakin 3837 says, social media hypnotizes these women. Shaking my head. And the last one says, from stars in my eyes, she said, Paul, us black women don't have the luxury of being traumatized. This woman is overly emotional. Trauma is catastrophic accident, losing a child or loved one, an eviction notice and no job, can't feed your family, a rape or abuse, a layoff during a recession, etc. These are examples of real trauma. Many women want peace just as much as a man. This woman is just extra and her ex is probably happier now. Who would want to deal with that whining every day? She did him a favor, 100%. Yes. I gotta read one more just to finish this off because it's good to finish on a good note. Tierra Belar. She said, thanks a lot. Right for me. Heart emoji. Now I look at my 27-year-old marriage from a different perspective. Thank you so much. I am really, really glad to see that some women are actually learning from these videos. And like I said, guys, if you haven't watched that video, go and watch it right now, because I can tell you it's worth watching. Especially you ladies who have been considering leaving your husbands after 10, 15, 20 years. These streets are cold. Don't do it. Okay? Guys, let me know what you think. It's always good to get the comments and feedback. It's always amazing to help the younger generation and even the older generation. Let me know if I can help you. Ask any questions. All right? Because remember, whenever in doubt, always ask an older man. All right? Cheers. See you in the next one.